The way to hell has now been made wide. From the Visions of Saint Bridget of Sweden. In a mystical vision given to Saint Bridget of Sweden, Christ explains how he opened the way to paradise and how he showed his ardent love by suffering throughout his incarnation. The Lord Jesus also reveals how the path to hell has now been made wide, and the way to heaven has become narrow. This Virgo Potens production includes Book 2, chapters 15 through 16 from Prophecies and Revelations by Saint Bridget of Sweden. Chapter 15. You are wondering why I am telling you such things, and why I am revealing such marvels to you. Is it for your sake alone? Of course not. It is for the edification and salvation of others. You see, the world was like a kind of wilderness, in which there was one road leading down to the great abyss. In the abyss were two chambers. One was so deep that it had no bottom, and the people who went down into it never came up again. The second was not so deep or frightening as the first. Those who went down into it had some hope of help. They experienced longing and delay, but not misery, darkness, but not torment. The people who lived in this second chamber kept sending their cries daily to the magnificent city nearby that was filled with every good thing and every delight. They cried out heartily, for they knew the way to the city. However, the wild forest was so thick and dense that they were unable to cross it, or make any advance because of its density, and they had not the strength to forge a path through it. What was their cry? Their cry was this: O God, come and give us help. Show us the way and enlighten us. We are waiting for you. We cannot be saved by anyone but you. This cry came to my hearing in heaven and moved me to mercy. Appeased by their crying, I came to the wilderness like a pilgrim. But before I began to work and make my way, a voice spoke out ahead of me, saying, "The axe has been laid to the tree." This voice was none other than John the Baptist. He was sent before me and cried out in the desert, "The axe has been laid to the tree," which is to say, let the human race be ready, for the axe is now ready, and he has come to prepare a way to the city, and is uprooting every obstacle. When I came, I worked from sunrise to sunset, that is, I devoted myself to the salvation of humankind from the time of my incarnation until my death on the cross. At the start of my undertaking, I took flight into the wilderness, away from my enemies, more precisely, from Herod, who was pursuing me. I was put to the test by the devil, and suffered persecution from men. Later, while enduring much toil, I ate and drank and sinlessly complied with other natural needs in order to build up the faith and to show that I had truly taken a human nature. While I prepared the way to the city, that is, to heaven, and uprooted all the obstacles that had sprung up, brambles and thorns scratched my side, and harsh nails wounded my hands and feet. My teeth and my cheeks were badly mishandled. I bore it with patience, and did not turn back, but went ahead all the more zealously. Like an animal driven by starvation that, when it sees a man holding a spear against it, charges into the spear in its desire to get at that man. And the more the man thrusts the spear into the entrails of the animal, the more the animal thrusts itself against the spear in its desire to get at the man, until at least its entrails and entire body are pierced through and through. In like manner, I burned with such love for the soul that, when I beheld and experienced all these harsh torments, the more eager men were to kill me, the more ardent I became to suffer for the salvation of souls. Thus I made my way in the wilderness of this world, and prepared a road through my blood and sweat. The world might well be called a wilderness, since it was lacking in every virtue and remained a wilderness of vice. It had only one road on which everyone was descending into hell, the damned toward damnation, the good towards darkness. I heard mercifully their long-standing desire for future salvation, and came like a pilgrim in order to work. Unknown to them in my divinity and power, I prepared the road that leads to heaven. My friends saw this way and observed the difficulties of my work and my eagerness of heart, and many of them followed me in joy for a long time. But now there has been a change in the voice that used to cry out, "Be ready!" My road has been altered, and thickets and thorn bushes have grown up, and those who were advancing on it have halted. The way to hell has been opened up. It is broad, and many people travel by it. However, in order not to let my road become altogether forgotten and neglected, my few friends still travel it in their longing for their heavenly homeland. Like birds moving from bush to bush, hidden, as it were, and serving me out of fear, since everyone nowadays thinks that to travel by the way of the world leads to happiness and joy. For this reason, because my road has become narrow, while the road to the world has been widened, I am now shouting out to my friends in the wilderness, that is, in the world, that they should remove the thorn bushes and brambles from the road leading to heaven, and recommend my road to those who are making their way. As it is written, "Blessed are those who have not seen me and have believed." Likewise, happy are they who now believe in my words and put them into practice. As you see, I am like a mother who runs out to meet her roving son. She holds out a light for him on the way so that he can see the road. In her love, she goes to meet him on the way and shortens his journey. She goes up to him and embraces and greets him. With love like that, I shall run out to meet my friends and all the people returning to me, and I shall give their hearts and souls the light of divine wisdom. I will embrace them with glory and surround them with the heavenly court where there is neither heaven above nor earth below, but only the vision of God, where there is neither food nor drink, but only the enjoyment of God. The road to hell is open for the wicked. Once they enter into it, they will never come up again. They will be without glory or bliss, and will be filled with misery and everlasting reproach. This is why I speak these words, and reveal this love of mine, so that those who have turned away may turn back to me, and recognize me, their Creator, whom they have forgotten. Christ's words to the bride about why he speaks with her rather than with others better than she, and about 3 things commanded, 3 forbidden, 3 permitted, and 3 recommended to the bride by Christ, a most excellent lesson. Chapter 16. Many people wonder why I speak with you and not with others who live a better life and have served me for a longer time. I answer them by way of a parable. A certain lord owns several vineyards in several different regions. The wine of each vineyard has the particular taste of the region where it comes from. Once the wine has been pressed, the owner of the vineyards sometimes drinks the mediocre and weaker wine and not the better kind. If any of those present sees him and asks their lord why he does so, he will answer that this particular wine tasted good and sweet to him at the time. This does not mean that the Lord gets rid of the better wines or holds them in disdain, but that he reserves them for his use and privilege on an appropriate occasion, each of them for the occasion for which it is suited. This is the way I deal with you. I have many friends whose life is sweeter to me than honey, more delicious than any wine, brighter in my sight than the sun. However, it pleased me to choose you in my spirit, not because you are better than they are, or equal to them, or better qualified, but because I wanted to. I who can make sages out of fools, and saints out of sinners. I did not grant you so great a grace because I hold the others in disdain. Rather, I am reserving them for another use and privilege, as justice demands. Humble yourself then in every way, and do not let anything trouble you but your sins. Love everyone, even those who seem to hate and slander you, for they are only providing you with a greater opportunity to win your crown. 3 things I command you to do. 3 things I command you not to do. 3 things I permit you to do. 3 things I recommend you to do. I command you to do 3 things. First, to desire nothing but your God. Second, to cast off all pride and arrogance. Third, always to hate the lust of the flesh. 3 things I order you not to do. First, neither to love vain, indecent speech, nor, second, excessive eating and superfluity in other things, and third, to flee from worldly merriment and frivolity. I permit you to do 3 things. First, to sleep moderately for the sake of good health. Second, to carry out temperate vigils to train the body. Third, to eat moderately for the strength and sustenance of your body. I recommend 3 things to you. First, to take pains to fast and carry out good works that earn the promise of the kingdom of heaven. Second, to dispose of your possessions for the glory of God. Third, I counsel you to think on 2 things continually in your heart. First, think on all that I have done for you by suffering and dying for you. Such a thought stirs up love for God. Second, consider my justice and the coming judgment. This instills fear in your mind. Finally, there is a 4th thing, which I both order and command and recommend and permit. This is to obey as you ought. I order this, inasmuch as I am your God. I command you not to act otherwise, inasmuch as I am your Lord. I permit this to you, inasmuch as I am your bridegroom. I also recommend it, inasmuch as I am your friend. Welcome to the Virgo Potens YouTube channel. If you enjoy this video, give it a like. I also invite you to subscribe to this channel so that you won't miss new content. Please prayerfully consider supporting my work by becoming a patron of Virgo Potens on Patreon and/or by buying one of my books. My ebooks are available on Amazon as well as on the Apple Bookstore. For those who prefer a physical copy rather than an ebook, my book, Spiritual Warfare, Know Thy Enemy, is also available as a paperback on Amazon. If you are interested in making a one-time contribution, I suggest that you do so by simply buying one of my books. I am thankful for your support. Links to Patreon and to my books will be posted in the comments section of this video. The continuation of this work isn't possible without you. Lastly, and most importantly, please pray for me. May the Virgin Most Powerful guide and protect you.